On your marks.
So once again, split start. Not so many to the outside with the field of 15. As we see them starting to come across. I think Nichols leading out front. Wolseley sitting behind him there on the inner lane. Sung Il Hong in the traditional colourful shorts from Mentone. In next position there. As they now start to come across. And looks like no one really wants to take the pace up here. So Nichols leading the way. Sorry, that's Wes Hay leading the way for Melbourne Uni. Wolseley in next position, then Hong, Tai. Also up there early, Paul Luttrell from Tasmania. Jack Martin from Traralgon midfield there. Joji Mori deciding he's just going to sit at the back of the pack. Got his traditional headband on, the Richmond Harrier uniform. So now pace going along quite nicely actually, so I shouldn't really have a go at them because the young man from Melbourne Uni there, Wes Hay, leading them out quite well in these gusty conditions, especially down that back straight. So heading towards the 400 metre mark. Let's see what their opener was like. Going through in around the 78-minute mark. So that yet again is around 16, a bit under the 16:40 time there. So nice steady pace, good pack forming. Hopefully they'll help each other out by sharing that load out front. As Hay just does a bit of a time check as he gets around. A few of them going quite wide now because it is very bunched out there, forcing a few of the runners out into lane 2. That's an extra 7 metres per lap. It's okay, they are running 5,000 of those metres. Luttrell sitting beautifully on the rails, so Martin very content to sit behind him. We saw a bit of Martin during the XCR season for that very strong Traralgon team. And Martin, one of the key players in that team as they just missed out on promotion up to Division 2. Ty from South Melbourne next to him. Quirk from St Stephen's sitting midfield. Now we see the young man Ledger from Albury starting to make a little bit of a move. But it's still Wes Hay from Melbourne University leading the way. Justin Wolseley. Haven't seen a lot of Justin in the last season or so, but good to see him back there in the Frankston colours. And the Tasmanian running along nicely. Ash Rogers also having a bit of a dip early too as they go through 240. So pretty even pacing there. Sitting around that 80-second mark, which is 16:40. So just approaching the 1K mark now. So 3:21. So
should be.
Apologies, just a bit of a technical glitch with batteries. So we're back into the race. No real change out front. And the bunch staying pretty well together. A few casualties as we approach the 2 kilometre mark, which is coming up right now. So 6:40, so still sitting on that 3:20 pace, so just over 3:20 pace for that 2nd kilometre. So Tai and Hong, the only ones to drop off the pack at the moment, as we see Wolseley take the lead, the Frankston runner. Rogers to the outside there of Hay. Luttrell still sitting in on the rails with Martin. Got the Richmond runners, you can see Joji Morey just starting to make his way through, up with Mark Stodden. So Cal Britton, the other one of the Tigers out there, 3 of them in this race. And Britton at the moment leading that intra-club effort there for the Richmond Harriers. So just ticking over the 3:20 per K at the moment. So I'll be looking at a time of around that 10 minutes as they come through at 3 kilometres, which will be 5 laps to go. So Luttrell now sitting in 2nd position. Nice. Looks like Martin's making a bit of a move to the outside there. He's got Ledger to the inside of him. Then we've got Stodden and Morey. Samitas, the St Kevin's runner. He's got McDonald just off the back of him. Next one up there is the other Melbourne Uni runner there, Nichols. Looks like Quirk's the next one to drop off the pack here as they come through to get 6 to go. So Hong coming through, he will have 6 to go, the Mentone runner. As we see the bunched effect of this D race is starting to peter out as the little gaps start to form and a longer line of runners as we enter in well and truly now into the 2nd half of this race. So they're coming around, they'll be getting the 3 kilometre mark as they come through with 5 to go. So coming through 3 kilometres, so we're expecting the 10-minute mark and they're right on it. So Wolseley right on 10, Luttrell on his heels. Rogers now taking the gap, just getting ahead of the early leader there in Hay. Britton to the outside of him. So Quirk being joined by Ty, and we look down the straight and we'll see Hong coming through as he approaches the 3 kilometre mark. But the gap's definitely starting to form. Britton deciding he's going to chase Rogers down the back straight. And now we're seeing Samitas from St Kevin's doing exactly the same thing. So this is where the race is really starting to take shape now as they go through 3,200. So once again, we'll ask all of our competitors to finish in lane 3. As we wait for another high jump competition to get underway here. The men look like they're getting ready to go. So Wolseley leads it. Luttrell behind him. McDonald now the next one to make a move here. Austin McDonald from Western A's. He's surging forward at 3,400. Ledger looking good. Martin just the back of the pack there. Stodden now being asked the question. Nichols in next position. Then Ty, Quirk, Hong. So now Luttrell takes the lead. The Tasmanian visitor down the back straight. Wolseley going with him stride for stride. McDonald leading the next pack from Semitis. Also Rogers, Ledger. Then Morey now leading the charge of the Richmond runners. Britton just behind him. Then Hay, Martin, Stodden. So we're coming through now. We'll be seeing 3 on the board. 1,200 out. We're going to time check then at the 4 kilometre mark. They'd be hoping for around that 13:20. I think Luttrell has picked the pace up. McDonald's doing a great job there of leading that next pack through. Semitis is just sticking in with him. Morey's looking strong. So Luttrell and Wolseley coming through. 3 to go. McDonald, Semitis, Morey, Rogers, Ledger, Hay, Martin, Britton and Stodden. Now we're seeing Ty just coming up to Nichols. Quirk not too far behind him. And then 200 out is Hong. So Wolseley still content to sit there with Luttrell. They'll be hitting the 4 kilometre mark as they go up towards the next of our on flags. And a big thank you once again to On for supporting this event. So 13:15, the pace has picked up. So Luttrell's put a foot down there and they have gone to a 3:15 kilometre there, or 3:17 kilometre in kilometre number 4. So that's going to get them into the 16:30 range unless there's more of a kick down here. So Hong's coming through now. He'll have 3 to go. As our 2 leaders, they're out by about 30 metres now. McDonald from Western A's driving that next train. So Luttrell, Wolseley just easing out to 1 out, 1 back and edging forward. So it looks like 2 out. And Wolseley just gives Luttrell a bit of an encouragement. Come with me, he says. And let's see if Luttrell just tacks onto the back of Justin Wolseley. Well, Wolseley just starts, that's a good move there from Wolseley, but Luttrell just trying to stick on there, 2 laps out. So Ty and Nichols in next position. Next up, Sam Quirk from St Stephen's, as we see Justin Wolseley just striding down that back straight now, approaching 600 metres to go. Great work here from Semitis. He's just sitting on the side there of McDonald. Then Morey, the very experienced Joji Morey. Ledger, don't know much about this young one from Albury, but they're producing some good talent from up north of the state and across the border. Martin in next position, then Rogers and Hay. So round the bend. Song Hill Hong coming through. He'll be getting 2 laps to go, but it's Justin Wolseley from Frankston. He'll be the first man to hear the bell here in this D race for the men. So 2 to go for Hong. And here's the bell, Justin Wolseley, Frankston. Good to have Justin back out on track here this evening. And let's get behind Paul Luttrell. He's digging deep, gritting the teeth. He knows he's got 400 metres out now as the big pack swarms, and Ledger's the one who just pushes the elbow out and says, I'm going to take the lead here, boys, follow me. So Ledger, Semitis following him. Then it's McDonald on the rails. Morey to the outside, and then the very, very strong Jack Martin just going with them. Gap then to Hay, then Rogers, then Britton, Stodden, Ty, Nichols, Quirk, but out front, Justin Wolseley. He's out now by about 30 metres. It's been a big, strong kick. He could be in the 16:20s here potentially. I reckon he might be actually, as Justin comes around the bend the last time. We will ask him to ease out into lane 3 to finish. So Justin edges his way out. Let's get behind. This has been a brilliant run over the last 2 kilometres, and we're going to see a 16:20, maybe even sub 16:20 here from Justin. Great running, Justin Wolseley, in these conditions. Good to have him back on track, and he'll stop the clock unofficially 16:19:58. Right on those, under the 3:20 mark. Nice run here from Luttrell as well. So he'll be in under the 16:30 mark, I believe. Martin, as I said, he's a strong character, this one. He'll come through next. Then Morey, the experienced one. So all these guys coming in under 16:40, including Ledger, Samitas, McDonald, nice run. Hey, our early leader, held on beautifully. Then Rogers from YCW. And then the battle for the Richmond Harriers continues, and Stodden just over the top there of Britain in about 16:50. Let's try and get James Ty in under that 17-minute mark. So Ty for South Melbourne, he'll be in just on 17 minutes. Quirk will be in next position, just coming over the top of Nichols. So Sung Hil Hong, Mentone into the final straight now to complete the field in the D race here, the men's 5,000 metres at the Victorian Championships. So sub 18